heroic couplet, blank verse and free verse. Let's understand the difference between these poetic forms. First, let's begin with heroic couplet. It's a rhyming couplet in iambic pentameter. Sometimes the meter varies, but it is almost always iambic pentameter. So let me make it clear with example from Shakespeare's comedy A Midsummer Night's Dream. Love looks not with the eyes but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. So these are successive lines or lines that come one after the other. So these are pair of lines that rhyme. It has end rhyme. End rhyme means the last words in each line rhyme. So it is mind and blind. They rhyme. Hence this is an end rhyme, or you can call it as rhyming couplet, because pair of lines with end rhymes is a rhyming couplet, and also it has a specific meter, that is iambic pentameter. Let's understand how it is iambic pentameter. Because each line is arranged in unstressed syllable pattern. An iamb means an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. So here also you can see that an unstressed syllable is followed by an stressed syllable, and that pattern is repeated. And if you look at the number of feet, there are 5 feet, and that makes it a pentameter. So this is written in iambic pentameter with end rhymes, and that makes it rhyming couplet in iambic pentameter. Now why heroic? Because it is commonly used in epic or narrative poems or poems with heroic themes. So this is how heroic couplet got its name. So heroic couplet is a rhyming couplet in iambic pentameter. And if you want an in-depth understanding of meter and foot, stressed syllables and unstressed syllables, just watch my video on meter and foot, in which I've explained all these concepts at length. Check it out. Now, it was Chaucer who introduced heroic couplet in English in his work Legend of Good Women. Probably he borrowed it from French ballads or French verses. But later this poetic form was popularized by writers like Alexander Pope, John Dryden, and so on. So that's all about heroic couplet. Now let's move on to blank verse. Blank verse is unrhymed lines in iambic pentameter. Heroic couplet is rhyming couplet in iambic pentameter. That is, blank verse has no rhythmic pattern. It lacks end rhyme, but a specific metrical pattern is followed here. Here we have the most famous example of a poem composed in blank verse, and without a doubt, it's John Milton's epic masterpiece, Paradise Lost. Of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree whose mortal taste. Here you can see that the final words, that is fruit and taste, do not rhyme. Hence, there is no end rhyme, but regular meter is followed here, and that is iambic pentameter, because again unstressed stress pattern with 5 feet, that makes it iambic pentameter. But blank verse can be composed in other meters as well, like trochaic meter, and it can have any number of syllables or any number of feet, but iamb is generally the predominant foot. So here blank verse means rhyming lines in unrhymed lines in iambic pentameter. And this is the poetic form that was introduced into English by Henry Howard, who was the Earl of Surrey, in around 1540 in his translation of Virgil's Aeneid. So it was Henry Howard who introduced blank verse in English poetry, and later on other writers like Christopher Marlowe, Shakespeare, and even John Donne and Keats, all of them employed this poetic form in their composition. Now let's move on to free verse. As you all know, verse means poetry, and in a free verse there is no strict metrical pattern or formal rhyme scheme, which means irregular meter is followed and no rhythmical pattern is there. Here is an example from Ezra Pound's poem, The Return. See they return are, see the tentative movements and the slow feet, the trouble in the pace and the uncertain wavering. The fourth line has only single word and it can go up to much longer. That means the lines in free verse can have any number of words or syllables or feet, and it can also follow irregular meter. Now, Walt Whitman is often credited as introducing free verse in English language poetry in his work Leaves of Grass. So, heroic couplet is rhyming couplet in iambic pentameter, blank verse is unrhymed lines in iambic pentameter, and free verse has no rhyme pattern and no metrical pattern. Hope this video helped. Thanks for watching.